One of the top picks in this game. You get an easy dunk poster. Welcome to the league.
Here's Durant. Yes. Kevin Harris. Nice move by Durant. Yes, again for Kevin Durant. Hits from deep, hits from... Harris set the pick. Durant again. Kevin.
Out of that, how many people think that the Lakers can win? And after this game tonight, I know people are going to be arguing, saying, did you see Kevin Durant hit?
For the last couple of years, here's Durant out top. Thompson switched on to him. It really doesn't matter sometimes. KD off glass.
Over the injury, guys.
Yeah, we have chronicled, Doris, as Durant with the mid-range jumper pure again. The amount of guys in a one-man show here in the third quarter. Like I said, he's been a one-man show here in the third quarter.
That's 6 straight.
Man in double figures. He's got 10. From the elbow, Durant. This guy was built to score.
Yeah.
Durant.
It's good.
Durant. Man. Going 100 miles an hour with that
concerted effort to make sure everyone is getting involved in the early stages of the game.
Pull-up jump, Kevin Durant, it's pure. Advantage for Prince, kicks it out for Durant. Against Hill, the pull-up, he's got it. Kevin Durant finding a rhythm. Here's $72 million, formerly with Sacramento. Durant, money.
Get to your spot.
Harris. Off the drive and kick, Durant. Pull up pop, book it. Kevin Durant, automatic.
Gets to his spots. And what we've seen early from the Hawks.
Personal foul on Trae Young, first team foul on Atlanta. Cross, pull up, money. Kevin Durant. Durant against Fernando. Durant, book it. Two easy, push it up the floor. Durant. The screen, the deuce. KD heating up.
50% from 3 to start this season for Bryant. Durant raises up, yeah, sure.
And that's the stuff where it's like, what are you going to do? I mean, Tom.
Durant on the attack. The pull-up is good. 21 points for Durant.
Allen the rebound. That is his 7th. Durant, 2 for 1. He's got a 3. Against Baisley. Roby was there to help. Durant sticks it. A baseline delivery for Kevin Durant. Touch. Barton there defensively. Durant gets the step, the fade. Yes, sir, Kevin Durant.
2 shots, is it 4 in a row?
And what do you notice, Mike? He's doing it in different spots on the floor. They're moving him around.
Meanwhile, Durant comes back on the other end. 6 points.
To the communication, they talked about any number of levels. You have certain teams that are being heavily affected by COVID, some less so. 6 for 11 outside the paint is Julius Randle.
Kevin Durant comes back, and you watch one possession. The Knicks work so hard and have to see Randle take such a... Harris nearly lost it. Durant, little fake pull-up once again from that elbow. It is just, it's automatic.
He's the best
Mid-end season, every single year he's added to his game.
Pull up, Durant, splash. And Steve Clifford has seen it. Whip it out for Durant. Fade off one leg. Kevin Durant is a machine.
Oh, lethal. But that...
Double bacon. Durant answers bullseye for 3.
Jordan was giving him, as soon as the ball was coming to him, he was ready to catch and release.
Durant rattles home a tray. The human torch. Durant fades, connects. Kevin Durant from all angles. Magic have had in quite some time.
And say this, but they've lost 4 straight, all by double digits.
Kevin Durant, a downtown hit for KD.
Milwaukee up by 1. Here's Durant.
He will rarely miss from that range. If he
to you, and the fluid, the motion can be that much more prevalent because each guy can do that. Shake, bake, and knock it down. Easy money.
Here is Durant on a pull-up. Yes.
So official.
Kevin Durant. In fact, Durant thought he was fouled. Now Durant with the step pulls it up and scores.
That's the only problem when you play him.
Cavaliers have taken a 13-point lead.
And not giving up on the play.
Durant draws the foul. Has a
against this team, they make you pay.
Durant off the Harden feed. Works into a 12-footer and cuts the Cavs lead to 3.
You have to have more.
Attached.
Harris forced that one, but Durant able to flag it down and connect. The ultimate order. Harden giving it up. Durant pull-up jumper is good. Kevin Durant with 28 points.
Smooth. The quick catch and go, one dribble.
Irving gives it up. Durant's pull-up is good. He can get it done too in crunch.
Just weren't able to really make a lot of points or make some hay out of creating them.
Durant gets the roll. Miami.
Kevin Durant. Easy does it.
Man, that's just a thing of beauty, Bob. That's one of the most beautiful.
Here's Durant. 14-footer, bingo.
Oh, you can forget that. You can't guard that. Can't guard that shot.
27.
Here's Garrison Matthews trying to D up against Durant. Durant backing him down, shoots over him. And that's the huge height advantage for Durant.
Oh, yeah, actually got his jersey retired as a Spur.
Durant, the elbow jumper. 23 for Kevin Durant. He and Westbrook each have 23. Durant, the pull-up along the baseline. 25 for Kevin Durant.
You love the competition on the defensive side of the ball from the Clippers.
Durant the catch. Splash.
And can I just...
To 5. George with 21 points. Durant, pull up. It's there.
I mean, he's just so talented.
Under 2 minutes to play. Durant wants to dance with Batum. A 3. Kevin Durant.
Level.
When you talk about drain, I would say at times game 6, game 7, carrying the team against, as Kevin Durant knocks down the shot, that's game planning against you.
Oh, but it goes right to Aldridge. Back out to Durant. On a broken play, Durant gets an easy 12-foot jumper.
I just think if we're going to wire up Blake Griffin as a budding comedian, he's got to give us a joke or two. That's what I...
We're midway through the 4th. Durant knocks it down.
A pretty good job against him, and it's going to be very interesting to see how he plays against Durant here.
Durant able to get to the baseline and get separation for the bucket.
But see,
in a 28-point game, KD connects, and there it is. He's exceeded his career scoring average 10. Edwards has gotten up 21 shots in the game. KD, he's got no problem hitting threes. 4th of the game for him. Now he's got 32. And
Irving gets to a spot. Now it's Durant off the hesitation and the touch from the outside. Kevin Durant. Durant, you could tell he wanted this. KD with a 3. Kevin Durant 6 of 9 from the field, 7 of 10 from the field with that trifecta.
Absolutely light.
He's got the advantage over bigger players because of his quickness and over smaller players, but you got to use that advantage.
Man, KD just walked into that 3, Richard.
And speaking of
upstate, in Spartanburg, Durant.
I mean, the lefty bank by Irving has become a thing of regularity.
Durant got a little body, still hits the fade. Jeff Green with the board. Durant. Oh, yeah! A straightaway 3 for KD.
Kai, we feel
A 3 straight
this season. And right now with 9 and Durant going to work. See if the Raptors can put together some stops. The cut, Durant pulls up, shot good. Shot maker.
Oh, yeah.
4 Pacers down a couple. And Durant the foul on 6 someday.
Probably, yeah. I would think they'd be looking at a couple teams, but I don't think they'll move a team there, though.
And Durant hits the half. They're shooting nearly 60% here in the third quarter as Durant scores again.
And Carl Eaton for what they have done to help this team. The training room has been very busy, saying it's never a place you want to be as the Nets hit a shot there. But the
foul really is on. I'm not sure that. I think that was quite a foul, but that's just me.
And
PJ Tucker on Durant.
I just think it's so fascinating. That's Longhorn on Longhorn right there.
Durant from the elbow. 15 points for Kevin Durant. Outscored them 34-19 here in the second period. An answer from Durant.
That makes no sense.
3,300 allowed right now. Durant again. Kevin Durant now with 23. Is shaken up down the other end. Durant on the pull-up. Got it. Kevin Durant with 36. And a timeout by Mike Budenholzer. Green's.
I'll be honest, I'm helping.
Durant for 3. Kevin Durant, his 7th three-pointer, and he's got 40.
Jordan, and has had great success against Jordan in the one-on-one matchups in the first 2 games. As Kevin Durant, a little fadeaway is good.
By the Nets in this quarter, the Bucks only 6 for 22.
Oh, Kevin Durant gets to his spot, drills a 3.
And Marvin, we talk about continuity. We have to talk about what player and that continuity. So as as you look at Durant knock one down, but Brooklyn has players like.
They got a mismatch. Durant, and Durant rolls it home. So the Nuggets at their end.
Well, if you played at Virginia in college, you're going to be a good defender under Tony Bennett. There's Kevin Durant with his first 2 points. Remember, he did not play in the first.
Now you got Zach on Kevin Durant.
There we go. A couple of all-stars here. And Durant with that lengthy reach and extension, able to score over just about any. 8. You see the Nuggets with a tenuous lead on the Hornets. Kevin Durant extends the Brooklyn lead. He's into double figure. 2 minutes into the third. Durant got loose from Williams and sinks the mid-range jumper.
Blake Griffin has set 2 nice.
8-point game, as close as the Bulls have been since they trailed by 19. Kevin Durant doing what Kevin Durant does late in the game.
Yeah, that's what.
In the lineup. Durant struggled with his shot yesterday. First one is good for KD.
And a tough one to go along with it.
Cleveland. Loop it for Durant. Rising up. The touch. KD from the outside. Nearly autumn.
Just midway through the second. Now guarding Durant at the other end. Durant off the dribble. Pull off baseline jumper. And a timeout from Brad Stevens. He can't answer. Long rebound out to Griffin. To Durant. On the pull-up. He is a mid-range assassin.
Handling the sideline from Barclays. Durant had it knocked away. He recovers and hits. Kevin Durant go in the third. A 96-71 lead for the Nets. Trying to go 2-0 in this best of 7. Kevin Durant now with 20.
Durant guarded by Tatum. On the baseline, puts it in. Kevin Durant now 4 of 6 from the field, 9 points here in the first. He knows that.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Like that talent right there.
That talent has 13 points here in the.
Romeo Langford, second-year player out of Indiana, had right wrist surgery as Kevin Durant tries to quiet him down. A lot of talk about Brooklyn's defense as Kevin Durant knocks a mid-range jumper down. And last chance at a shot here for Brooklyn as Durant goes to work on Tatum, knocks down a mid-range jumper.
See if they're able to clean up some of that stuff on the defensive end.
Here's Kevin Durant. And Durant gets loose for the first shot, rattles one home, the king of the mid-course, and Jaylen Brown. And you do start to wonder where the Celtics can go offensively as Durant knocks down a jump. Perhaps on his way to a triple-double. The big three on the floor now. Kevin Durant for three, cash.
You know, back in the day when you had less possessions, maybe it affects a trio like this a lot.
Brooklyn goes small here. Claxton out, gave him great minutes tonight. Durant for three, got it. Kevin Durant pours it in from three-point.
Very well for the Nets. Here's Durant on the pull-up. Yes.
And Mark, Durant has been doing a lot of damage.
Tucker. Durant pulls it back for the jumper. Yes.
And Durant, so good, so talented right there.
The rest of the way as he injured his hamstring with 43 seconds gone by as Durant is able to knock it down. 23 for Giannis. Durant. Well, Kevin Durant getting the looks and showing some signs.
% for the game.
And it's been all Milwaukee off the boards as Durant knocks it down.
And
Kevin Durant.
Time left. Getting stops a must for the Bucks.
Durant takes it home. Kevin Durant is playing with the 4 fouls. Back on Durant. Cutting left and right, spinning, and scoring.
I'll tell you what, that was actually really good defense.
It was his first reaction when he saw James Harden walk off limping as Durant hits again. Well, he knew he was. Durant played by Tucker. Durant on the pull-up.
And I've been there, PJ.
Continuity. With Harden, Durant, and Irving not able to get on the court at the same time. Durant has been incredible tonight. 28.
Gives Middleton the mid-range pull-up.
Durant on the pull-up.
And Marfa. Now looking to post up. A lot of contact. Durant turns, shoots, and scores. Just his second field goal. He's now 2 for 7.
Layup, he just didn't put it home.
That time, Durant connects.
If you're the Bucks, you can't allow him to come.
He's got 20. Durant floats in and knocks it down. Guarded by Tucker, playing with 4 fouls, gets past him. Pull-up jumper, Kevin Durant, now at 23.
You know, Brook Lopez does a great job protecting the rim, but those shots are there all night.
But excellent execution. Durant on the pull-up, ties the game.
Simple, but
under 2 minutes remaining. Durant finds some space, finds some room, knocks it down again, and we're tied at 80. And the back to Brown. Durant has it, fights over, fires a three. Bang! Kevin Durant from downtown. And
ball elevated to shoot.
Durant pulls up, jumper's good. And Mike Budenholzer wants a timeout as Brooklyn jumps out to a quick 7-point lead. We'll take our first break in the playoffs coming into this game. Durant for 3.
A miscommunication with Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton left the body of Kevin Durant, allowed him to elevate, knock
injuries. Players that normally wouldn't play probably in this situation, although Johnson has done some good things for him during the season. Did not play in game 3. Stars. Durant off 1 foot, got it. Big third quarter for Durant, and the lead is cut to 11.
I'm not letting him.
Pass inside, deflected, gets it back, jumper, it's good. Kevin Durant, 16 points here in this third.
Which he had the first 2 games, but not the case in Milwaukee. Beautiful crossover by Durant, and puts it home.
And Mark, Kevin Durant
in this opening quarter. Durant with the pull-up. Yes! And it counts. The second quarter. Bruce Brown is back on the floor for the Nets. Durant with that feathery touch. 31 points. He's had an excellent game. Has not forced anything. That was right from the start. Durant for 3. Durant using the screen for 3. Yes! 41 points. Good pressure defense by Milwaukee. Now Durant fires and hits with the shot clock.
What if you're in transition or semi-transition?
Had under 20 assists in the previous game. Kevin Durant knocks down the jumper, stares at Zach Zarba, says he picks up KD. Right back at him. Tough turnaround is pure.
And Antetokounmpo, the rare guy who can. I think they've got a beef.
I hope they didn't hear me, Doris. KD passes on the opportunity with the deep ball. Up and now on the wing, Durant with the left hand pulls up from the elbow. 15 feet away. 7 of 16. Mid-range pull-up, pure.
This is the problem the Bucks have had this entire series. High screen set.
The Bucks. Durant for 3.
Now he can do that. Not many people in the league on the face of this earth.
Here's Durant. Kevin Durant providing the Nets with a 3-point lead.
And you can't.
Here's Durant for 3.
And when he runs those dribble handoffs, there's no help because Lopez is so far back in the paint.
Durant with the rudder. He got the space. He took advantage. There is, and he does, and hits.
And that was beautiful defense right there, but
there's Durant as we resume. Kevin Durant now with 22 points. Possession, Durant with the side jump, yes. Kevin Durant now with 35. Nice fake and score.
Yeah, just a beautiful move right there. Great shot fake. Durant's been feasting in mid-range.
Fakes Tucker and hits. It's down to 2 with 42 seconds remaining.